Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Skyrise, your early morning show where we talk all things gaming. I'm your host, Skytune, and here's the breakdown for today. We're going to start things off by remembering and talking about Iwata, playing some Poke Pools, what I'm playing, Donkey Kong Bananza's lore, character conundrum, questions from Patreon supporters, and shoutouts. Let's go! July 11th marked a decade since former president of Nintendo of Japan, Satoru Iwata, passed away. Both Reggie and Skyrise had something to say about their former friend. Reggie stated, "This July 11th marks the 10-year anniversary of Satoru Iwata's passing. I still think of him nearly every day. Together, we put a lot of smiles on people's faces." That they definitely did. And Skyrise had this to say. "Today was the release date of the GameCube's Kirby Air Ride 22nd anniversary. At the same time, it is also the anniversary of Iwata-san's passing. 2015. 10 years have passed since then. Iwata-san and I were about 10 years apart in age, and when we joined the company, and soon I'll be catching up to his age, won't I?" I feel like what Skyrise had to say definitely hit a little bit harder, just because that's gotta be rough to think about somebody who passed away at a certain age, and you're going to be passing their age. People would hope that, friends and family around them, people important to them, would live forever. And unfortunately, that's not the case of life. But the fact that you think in your mind you can never get older than somebody who's already older than you, and from unfortunate circumstances like this, yes, one day everybody who knew Iwata is eventually going to pass the age that he was when he passed away. I didn't watch Nintendo Directs yet when Iwata used to be the one presenting them along with Reggie. I watched a little bit of Reggie presenting them, but that was kind of towards the end of his time with Nintendo. But either way, I heard that he learned English. He went above and beyond just to be the perfect president for Nintendo. And it's so sad that he's gone. The company, I believe, definitely has changed from the time that he was very much involved to the time that 10 years later, unfortunately, it's being ran quite differently than before. So we miss Iwata, but Nintendo will continue striving forward, and we'll see what happens with the company as the era of the Switch 2 unfolds. Definitely a sad subject, but an important one that needed to be discussed. On a happier note, let's play some Poke Pools. I'm gonna open an extra dimensional crisis pack, but comment down below and let me know which pack we should open next week. Let's spin it, and we landed on this one. Alright, we'll slice that open, and we got a Petilli, Shinx, Looker, Stuffle, and Type Null. It's time to talk about what I'm playing. I just had a birthday on July 8th, and leading up to it, I did a very spontaneous, unplanned 24-hour stream. The first 8 hours, I played Mario Kart World. Then we moved to Animal Crossing New Horizons, and switched to Splatoon 3 to finish everything off. Stay tuned, because next week, we're going bananas. Speaking of which, some info got revealed on why Nintendo decided to make young Pauline, specifically 13, in Donkey Kong Bananza. This comes by way of IGN, and I thought it was really interesting, so definitely pay attention. So from an interview with Mr. Takahashi, it says, "One of the important roles that we knew we wanted this character to accomplish was in accompanying Donkey Kong on his travels and acting in some cases as a bit of a narrator. And considering we would probably both have new players who are experiencing a Donkey Kong game for the first time, as well as people who are longtime fans of Donkey Kong, we had the opportunity to offer a character that was familiar to longtime players but had a new appearance that might be interesting for new folks as well. And we're always thinking about the setting of not just the world, but also each character itself, and how that's going to impact the player enjoyment in the end. He ended on a bit of a tease. Now, as to why 13-year-old in particular was the choice, I think that's something that we want players to, in the course of enjoying the game, start to puzzle out, think for themselves. It was also asked if there is a canon Donkey Kong series timeline, and if this is a prequel to Super Mario Odyssey. The response was certainly, because a lot of team members also worked on Super Mario Odyssey. There are some similarities in terms of how they think about the setting of the characters for both games, but it's something we really can't explain all for now, because we need to leave something for people to consider as they're playing the game, Takahashi cryptically replied. So that's it. We're gonna find out why Pauline is exactly 13 years old, and not however old she is in Super Mario Odyssey, through gameplay and story elements in Donkey Kong Bananza, which I think is strange that Nintendo's not just outright saying it, but it'll be interesting to unravel why that is. I'm so excited for this game, I can't wait. It's time to play Character Conundrum. Nobody got it last week, but the answer was Metal Sonic. Remember, the first 3 people to guess correctly will get a shout out. For this week, here's your hints. This character is a prince, sometimes referred to as Mars, and most known for kindness or empathy. Who could this be? Let me know down in the comments and find out next week. There aren't any questions from Patreon supporters, but let's move on to shoutouts. Starting with the Solar Superstars, shout out to Ollie, Hi I Am Alive, and Poyo. Of course we can't forget about our elevated hero, Matthew 2EK. Thank you all so much for your support, and if you'd like to support, check out the Patreon link down below. There's a bunch of different tiers with a lot of benefits that you might be interested in. So thank you so much in advance. If you enjoyed episode 26 of the Skyrise, do me a favor and leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with some friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.